Sefer HaMitzvot. We're in the negative commandment number 6. Let's get 5 and 5. Get part 1 so you know where we at, so you know how we served to get here. The connection with Moses, Maimonides, and Anand ben David. Get that in part 1. Click the link below, all the links below. We about to surf the wave in the Sefer HaMitzvot. Shalom. Well, let go. Allah. The 6th prohibition is that we are forbidden from serving an idol, even in a manner other than one of those 4 types of service we have mentioned. Get the drop. Get part 1. This is upon condition that it is served kadarka, in the way this idol is customarily served, such as excreting to the idol pure, right, Baal pure, or throwing a stone at Mercules. And I said, damn, here we go, Mercury. Now, when you think about it in the context of the Hebrews, this Moses is calling out names. He's saying, man, y'all niggas is worshiping Mercury, man. Stop worshiping Mercury, my naga. Stop worshiping Thoth, Tahuti, Egypt, Atlantean. Get out the mind of a hijack. St. Christopher, the dog-headed man. Get out the Christ Greek hijack. Come back home. There is no Savior but our Creator. That's all we saying. That's all we've been saying. So we got to get the idols out the way. Now again, this Sefer HaMitzvot is broken down into 613 commandments. They said it was written, somewhere in the 12th century, right? Some say 1170. There's also a connection with Anand ben David. Okay? So we said, will the real author of the Sefer HaMitzvot please stand up? We have an Anand ben David, right? Anand ben David, they call a Jewish religious leader, right? So we just have a Hebrew exilarch. This connects with all the exilarchs, especially in the 700s, 800s. Connection with Kalelus, right? Forbidden Histories of America. Sylvanus told Texas, rocking in the 700s. Theodorus, Amari, Nehemiah's rocking in the 700s. Like, all this is popping in what they got on the timeline as the 700s, right? But it's also the same history that's going down in the 1100s. Come on, man. Hijack City. So are the 700s the 1100s? Which way did we go? Did this all just happen in the 1100s? Is Anand ben David the same author? In 770, Anand ben David wrote the definitive code of his order, the Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. That's all we're saying. Get part 1 because we go in to give you a foundation. We really went in to give you a foundation. From here on out, we're just going to be getting the drop. So if you be wondering, like, what's the foundation and stuff? Go back and get part 1, man. Allahu, I really appreciate all the love, all the dragons on the wall, keeping the water flowing over here and in the ether, man. Catch us in the ether. Hey, how about to all the family, man, on IG, anywhere else getting the drop, man, especially right here on YouTube, man. Y'all been here, man, from the balcony surfers, the wave surfers, man. So, again, here we go. Anan bin David. What's the connection with the Moshe and the David, right? The connection. I mean, it's getting good to us, man. That's all we saying. Because they're saying that this is happening in 770 AD. And we saying, well, the same thing's popping off with Moses. Maimonides. Who's writing the code, man. It's Moses Maimonides is writing the same code, the same Sefer, the Ha-Mitzvot. Actually, let me get this other drop. Get this other drop down. We're just talking about the Mishnah Torah, right? And this is the hijack image they give of Moshe, right? The same thing they do with, the OG Moses and the BCs, right? But is there BCs when there's no Black Christ? Do we got BCs with no Black Christ? I mean, you got to put it all together. You got to put it all together. So dodge the hijack. Now this Moses wrote this same Torah, but they called it a revised version, or, that he really just detailed it and whatnot. The son of Maimon. Well, who's Amram? So we have a son of Amram and a son of Maimon. Or Rambam. Who's Amram? I can't make this shit up. So we're just putting it together. The phantoms and duplications. Anatoly Fomenko taught us to put it together. We know there's been timeline shifts, whether we're talking about 333 years, whether we're talking about 1,053 years, whether we're talking about 1,778 years. Those are the three major chronological time shifts. You know the drop because we've been digging on it. So it's not crazy to look at Moses the Black in the 300s, and then over here, Moses ben Maimon in the 1100s, who's writing the code. At the same time, you got Prester John in 1165 writing this fabulous letter that gets to all the kings, letting them know that the Nagas is here, the dragons is here. Then you got the BC, the before the Black Christ Moses. In the BCs, he's way back in the BCs, the Exodus and all that. It's like they split them apart, put them in different places, just like Fomenko been telling us, man. Just like Anatoly been talking about with the true chronology. I'm just surfing the wave. Right now, we're just talking about the Sefer Ha-Mitzvot. Like I said, get the first part, because from here on out, we're just going in. We're just going in, man. The review of the Torah was conceived as an all-inclusive halakhic compendium, a guide to the entire system of Jewish law. Maimonides was explicit about his reasons for undertaking an encyclopedic work of such magnitude. He noted that the trials and tribulations of the life of the diaspora had deprived scholars and laymen alike of the ability to understand and assimilate the vast Talmudic literature and the essential rulings of the Geonanim, or the leaders of Babylon. And we connected that with the leaders of the Babylonian exilarchs, the Hebrew leaders, the Hebrew Khans. Just call them the Khans because this all connects with the Mongols, right? The great ones. These are the Khans. Then they say North African Jewry, knowing that we know we're talking black people. So don't give us no hijack images of Moses Maimonides when we're just talking black folk. And we know where Africa is. We know where Northwest Africa really is on this Amexem situation. And here's all these books that this Moses wrote. So we say, did Moses just come down with these 5 books? Is that all Moses wrote? How do we know? Because now we got another Moses, and look at all these books he wrote. He wrote the book of knowledge. He wrote the book of love. He wrote the book of seasons, the book of women, the book of holiness, the book of utterances, the book of seeds, the book of temple service, the book of sacrifices, the book of purity, the book of damages, the book of acquisitions, the book of civil laws, the book of judges. You put these books together, you might have a community forming. You might have a choose up village popping up if you know how to, deal with family law, including marriage and divorce. If you know how to deal with the holiness, including the sexual prohibitions and dietary laws. I mean, we're just putting it all together. We're just surfing the wave, man, in real time, man. Allahu Akbar. So that's all we're saying. So look at all these books, and we're going to comb through. I think we got multiple series popping off, man. I mean, every time I'm getting ready to leave YouTube and just be in the ether with the homies in the ether, I get all this drop, and it's like, yo, it just comes together in such a beautiful way, man. So we surfing the wave, and I can see us doing just drop on all these books, man, because we need to know how to treat subjects such as oaths and vows. We need to know how to deal with agricultural law and other commandments effective in the land of Israel, man. We need to know about the book of seasons devoted to the Sabbaths, man, and the real holy days, man. We need to know so we can dodge the hijack. You know what I mean? We can get through all the wing wham that they got, you know what I'm saying, just to, throw us for these loops. We can dodge the Mercury, because right now we just in the Sefer HaMitzvot. They got to, the law of the Sabbath, man. You know what I mean? So what can we get out of this? What kind of drop can we comb out of this? Because ain't nobody talking about it, but it's popping up in our Priest King investigation. And here we are digging back in the, book of the flow, book of the Torah, breaking the Torah down in 613 codes. And you add it up, 6 + 1 + 3, just like the family been saying, Drop Nation, what it do? You add it all up to 10. So now you got a 10 commandment situation, but you got a reflection over there, which is, okay, don't kill, don't steal. But we're just talking about the Sefer HaMitzvot. And I'm asking you, my Nagas, who wrote the Sefer HaMitzvot? Was it Maimonides? Was it Moshe? Was it Moses ben Maimon? Which one? Are we talking about the son of Amram? Or are we just talking about Rambam? 1135 to 1204. Genghis Khan wrote up on Prester John 1202. Bang. You got this King David popping off before Genghis Khan started calling himself King David. You got the real Dawid popping off. Prester, the real Prester that they're just rolling up on. More on more, right? We've been at war, right? Moab and Israel, whatever you want to call it. The Confederation, Psalms 83, whatever you want to call it. You want to heal us? You want to get down with this wave? You want this water? You want some of this water? You got to undo what you done. You got to open the eyes of the children of Israel to the reflections, to the phantoms, to the duplications. Let them know this ain't no play. Let them know they exist. Wake them up to the reflections. Because are we talking Moshe? Huh? Is that all we talking here? Who wrote the code? We need to know who wrote the code. Who wrote the Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Commandments? Who wrote the Torah? Was it Moshe? Or was it David? And is it all the same? Or are we just talking titles? 770, Anan ben David wrote the definitive code of his order, the Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. Now we in 770, my naga. Put it together with Sylvanus Totexis, Theodorus, Calais-Luz, Forbidden Histories of America. Who is Prester John? Sefer HaMitzvot. So let's have some fun, man. Let's get the tribe. Shalom to the tribe at all times. At all times, man. So the sixth prohibition, what they call negative commandments, are just prohibitions, is that we are forbidden from serving an idol, even in a manner other than one of the four types of service which we have mentioned. This is upon condition that it is served kadarka, in the way this idol is customarily served, such as excreting to the idol pure, or throwing a stone at Mercury or Merculus. So first, we're going to keep reading, but, I'm just digging on this kadarka. And it says in a way that the idol is customarily served. So it's hard to find real drop on, on what this means. I kind of surfed the wave very briefly and, found this document, pull all the links up, go to number 14 or what is it, number 17B or 17A and B. Now this connects it with some type of marital situation. More, I guess, in this context, it's a different context, but marital relations in the normal way. So right now we're just talking about serving idols. So put the marital stuff to the side for a minute and just focus on the normal way. So it seems like kadarka might just be something for them saying, all right, that's normal. That's the way it goes. Or there's shelo kadarka, marital relations in an unnatural way. So if you see the shelo, then that means, I guess, the opposite. Okay, so that's what I'm gathering so far. This is another link from How Do We Know This? Midrash and the Fragmentation of Modern Judaism by J.M. Harris. And just pull it up, you know what I mean? Let's get it bigger. Maybe. So right now we're just belly flopping and they stuff. We surf the wave in the KJV, you know what I'm saying? We surf the wave in Jubilees. We surf the wave, you know what I mean? And the Dead Sea Scrolls, we're surfing the wave because we can connect and magnetize. Love to the bro, Natural. Magnetize, man. Natural, man, just dropped some amazing drop. That's why I love the bro so much, is that he's so determined. And YouTube blocked his drop, man. YouTube blocked his drop, man. And I feel him. I feel him. But he went ahead and did what he had to do. Came back stronger. Go support it. Go pull it up. Natural by law. Go get all that drop, man. A-Hop to the bro. Every Wednesday, 10 o'clock Pacific, he's dropping in the ether over there at 432thedrop.com. Over here at 432thedrop.com. And love to Karen Mayo. You already know the dedication Karen Mayo got, you know what I mean, to the flow, to the wave, man, of Hawaii. We're all hearing the same sound, feeling the same frequency, vibration. So, A-Hop to the bro, Karen Mayo. Always pray you're reeling up, man, and, zoning up at all times. And he brought this to my attention, and I'm so glad he did. Love to the bro, Marcus Sam, man. And I'm going to leave this link below where you can support the bro and, read what popped off, man. It's very challenging, man, to go through, real life situations, man. But clearly, the bro's going through, real tough trialing times, man. And, do everything you can to support the tribe is all we say. Do everything you can to support the tribe. So You support us, support the bro. You know what I mean? Love to Renana, man. Renana's all Renana's automatic, man. You know what I'm saying? It's rare to find, you know what I'm saying, real ones of this caliber like this sister right here, man. Renana Israel. Certified wave surfer, man. Much a high from Drop Nation, man. And just the fact that, you know what I mean, you know, she wanted the bro to know that the tribe's behind him, you know what I mean? Feels all Hawaii, man. It's all Hawaii. Allah, love to the bro, Marcus. My bro Marcus Sad, man. You know what I mean? And we love you, bro. A-hop to you, A-hop to your family. And Drop Nation, click the link below so you can support the bro in real time, man. In battle time, man. We're talking Sefer. We're talking Hamet's Woe. So Kadarka we're getting is the normal way. All right. So something to do with the normal way. Or did we get that last link? Let's see. All right, yeah. Let me finish my thought. So yeah, we just digging on it. Right now we in they shit. Right now we in they stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we like, okay, because we know that they're using our stuff. You know what I'm saying? They've taken our grandfather's wallet and they can't invent nothing. Don't give these people no credit that they've invented no languages and none of that. They just learned all this shit. But they twisted it. They just twisted it to get some relevance, some substance, you know what I'm saying? A touch of reality to go with their poo sandwich, you dig? Whether you're talking Judaism, Christianity, Islam, none of this stuff, man. All this stuff is new creations, you know what I mean? Illusions, bro. Illusions. Because it's all connected to a source. So if you Islaming it up, overstand the source. I know you feel like you do. That's on you. You know what I mean? We're digging on it, you know what I mean, with a dragonfly perspective. We're putting it all on the line. We're putting everything on trial. Everything with dragonfly. With that fire, with that water, with that ether. And we stand 10 toes down on the earth because this is who we are. This is where we from. Our mama is us. Our father is us. There's no separation. So you can't Islam us, you know, without thought in us. You know what I mean? That's what we're realizing. And you need to realize the source of where you're coming from. When you Islam us or Muhammad us, you're coming with thought. You're coming with Mercury. You're coming with Tahuti. Don't Africa us, Egypt us. You're coming with Tahuti. Don't Islam us. You're coming with Tahuti. Man, this link right here is crazy. I was actually searching for some stuff, man. And I put in this, because we're going to read it right now. What does it mean to throw stones at Mercury, or what they call Merculus, right? And as you see with that drop right here, Mercury is Merculus, right? Okay, we'll get back to that. And this is the only thing that popped up in the whole search, right? So I put the quotes in. I'm trying to get to throw stones. I'm talking Merculus. This is all Hans and Sophia had to tell me in Google. That's all they had to say. Is Islam the ancient idolatry of Merculus? Remember, we dug on the Osby and it connected Thoth and Muhammad. And we said Thoth is Muhammad. You know what I mean? The same energy transfer, whatever you want to call it, incarnation. Thoth is Muhammad. Tahuti is Muhammad. That's why, with permission of the Pharaoh, they always got to bow down to the Pharaoh, because you're talking Tahuti, man. You're talking Thoth. You're talking Atlantis. So it always has to, that's always the hierarchy. Islam always got to go through Muhammad, which has to go through Thoth, Egypt, Atlantis. It always goes back there. So it's a frequency war. You're talking dragons. You're talking them dogs, man. Who let them dogs out? Sinus of fathers. We're talking alchemists. King of Atlantis, the mantis, called Chris of Ophir. Pearls and gold flow, no sulfur. We awake, man. I mean, it feels good to be alive, right? They knew we were coming. They knew we were waking up. This ain't no play. We're all different. We all got different life paths and choices. We all done stupid shit in our life. We all done good stuff in our life. We all have been through trials. We all keep rising. And here we are. Now we're surprising the hijack because they didn't see us coming. Not like this. Not this swift. You need to contain your emotions and control the elements. Contain your emotions, control the elements. Contain your emotions, control the elements. And ask the question, is Islam the ancient idolatry of Mercury? I didn't ask this question. Hans and Sophia asked this question. Is Muhammad Thoth? Same question, right? So what's the frequency war all about? Are we just talking about the alchemical serpent and alchemical dragon just bursting into consciousness, this serpent, this cosmic serpent underneath the barrier, below the greater light? You see, you can't destroy this frequency we're coming with, man. It's your worst nightmare because the water got you surrounded. The water got you surrounded. Wherever you at, the water got you surrounded. I promise you that. We all know it to be true. More. Mercury, Islam, right? Got it. Oh, a Roman god. Now he's a Roman god. Greek god, Roman god. Merchants. Wayfarers, slavery, slave trade. Oh, identical with the Greek god Hermes. Trigonomegestes, 3 times great. Trinity. Got it. The rabbis of the Talmud discusses Mercury more than any other pagan deity. Apparently considered him almost synonymous with idolatry. Yeah. Sefer HaMitzvot. Was it written by Moses? These 613, 10 commandments, 613. Did Moses come down off the mountain with just 10 commandments? Or did he come with books on 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 books? I'm just talking Moses. You talking Moses? I'm talking Moses. We talking Moses. Phantoms, duplications. Now, we're investigating. We're not telling you that this is a fact, that this is exactly this person and that is that, and that Prester John must be that, and that this is. Don't make this two-dimensional. We're surfing the wave. We're being fearless in our investigation. So don't ever take it as if, oh, Con Drop said that this must be this for sure. Hashtag facts. And this must be that. And you know what I'm saying? The map must look like that. Hashtag facts. Nah, man. Con Drop is, you know what I'm saying, on this board, shoulder to shoulder with the wave surfers, the people that are fearless, can let go of all hijacks because they know that their cup will always be filled. They know that they will always get that refill, man, of that water, because Drop Nation got that water. Yeah. Did Moses write this book in the 12th century at the same time Prester John's writing his letter? King David, King Khan, Dawi. We're just talking. The Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. I mean, that's a fair question. 770, you know what I mean, or around 1170. We have a 400-year shift. My people, we're staring in the face of a 400-year shift. I'm trying to be cool about this. I'm trying to let y'all, dig on it. I'm just trying to let y'all dig on it. We got a 400-year shift popping off, man. Because they don't want to put David in that, Look, man. They don't want to put David here. Because then it gets you to what's happening with the so-called Mongols. It gets you right here with this Genghis Khan invasion. It gets you right in the gut bone of Prester John investigation. It puts, all this Dark Ages shit in perspective. The Mongols are all these Hebrews. These Russians are Hebrews. All this shit's popping off in Asia. This is one of the 3 Indias. You're in India Superior. King David is ruling the world at this time. Or we're just talking Moses. Let's go. So we still on this negative commandment number 6. I wanted to reestablish our foundation in case you're too lazy to get part 1. Let's go. Hey, how to my wave surfers. Allah Wah. All praise our creator. Our Amma Abba. All one. One house. Now we just talking serving idols upon the condition that it is served kadarka, which we got connected with this normal way, right? In the way this idol is customarily served. So don't, when you serve these idols, and especially in the normal way, such as excreting to the idol pure or throwing a stone at Mercury. And that's when we start digging on what does it mean to throw a stone at Mercury. And by the way, you could download, since it's the only thing that comes up when you say meaning to throw stones at Mercules. It's this link right here. I haven't even dug on this yet. The name of this book is, yeah, you got it. The Afterlights. Interesting halakos. Fascinating discussions. Delightful insights. Sanhedrin by Rabbi Zev. So this is a Sanhedrin drop, you know what I mean? I downloaded it. I'll leave the link so you can come here and download it, man. And dig into Sanhedrin, because a lot of what is discussed with Maimonides is connected with Sanhedrin as well. So this is some scholarship that we're not supposed to be digging on, right? We right there in their backyard, like, what it do? Let's get the drop. It's dedicated to a lot of people, I tell you that much. Golly, I never seen so much dedication. So this must be, what I take from this is that they take this very serious, whatever's in this. They take this very serious, man. I don't even know what all these certificates are, but I'm sure it's something very serious to them, man. And somewhere in here, somewhere in this drop is the question, I guess around that 210 mark maybe, is Islam the ancient idolatry of Merculus? And I'm going to try to find it another time. But, this is just what we've been digging on. What does it mean when you're talking about throwing stones? You can dig deeper on this Hermes, is what this Mercury is, man. This idol. He who sees Mercurius, Mercury, right, should recite, blessed be God, who has patience with those who transgresses his will. So They were calling out this hijack by name. How did we get to the Christianized devil, Satan, all this bullshit? All this bullshit. They were calling out these hijacks by, like, man, when you see this cat, you better say, man, blessed be he, yada, yada, yada. They weren't saying, oh, the devil. Like, what's the devil? What's the adversary? It seems like Thoth is all up on your ass, man. Thoth is whooping up on reality. So that seems like a pure kind of, a pure insight into who's been your adversary. You know what I mean? You can't keep just ignoring the fact that you've been getting jammed up by Thoth, man, from day one. You know what I mean? Because this is where your duality is coming from. This is where everything's being, inside out, reversed. Everything's reversed. It's a duality. Here, over there, above, below, boom, 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 boom. Everything's reversed. So they got us hijacked by adding elements of us into a reverse spectrum of light. But it has elements of reality in it just to hijack you. You know what I mean? Similarly, the Midrash interpreted the general prohibition against erecting statues or pagan monuments, worshiping, connecting with Mercury, and thus the Mishnah proclaims, he that throws a stone at Mercury, let me get it out. It's very important to highlight this stuff. It's very important. Is to be stoned. You throw a stone at Mercury, you're going to be stoned. And therefore, I don't know the meaning behind why they had to throw stones. I'm sure it's more, elaborate. I guess it's not just picking up a rock because this is how it is worshipped. So that's how it's worshipped, according to the Sanhedrin 7:6. And now we got a copy that maybe that's saying within that Sanhedrin. Download that. All right. So the trilithon, or 3 stones erected. So this trilithon. So here's this right? Here's this Trinity situation. 3 stones erected as part of Mercurius was also known. Now remember, Mercurius was also a way of reversing syphilis, cytosyphilis, dog-headedness, right? But they said that was a very painful way, and it's like damn near torture. You know what I mean? So Mercury's like, I'll give you a way out, but I'm going to torture you. Or you can get righteous, and the Guayacán balsam situation might work for you, right? But you got to be coming with, a more, pure water intention. Like you can't be straight up hijacked. Somehow it knows, and it won't heal you unless you are, walking in some similar to, I don't know, of correct stature. You know what I'm saying? You got to be walking upright for this Guayacán plant to heal you. And that's what we're going to be getting on next. We're going to go back into the dog-headedness and get on the Guayacán. I just been digging on this Sefer HaMitzvot, so let's go. So he that throws stones at Mercurius is to be stoned, because this is how it is worshipped. The trithon, or 3 stones, erected as part of the Mercurius, was also known, and therefore Ishmael says 3 stones beside a Mercurius, one beside the other, are forbidden, but 2 are permitted. So well known, in fact, that Mercurius worship in Palestine, that is, it is mentioned even in popular proverbs as one who throws a stone at Mercurius is guilty of idolatry. So one who teaches a wicked pupil is guilty of idolatry. Rabbis were constantly confronted with Mercury, and according to one Talmudic account, a Mercurius was erected in the field of Simeon, son of Judah. So they keep saying R like rabbi, but just, we're talking about Simeon. So you're talking about the real mofos, man. You're talking about the real ones, man. You know what I mean? You're talking about Simeon. You're talking about Ishmael. So this is Ishmael talking, according to them. 3 stones beside a Mercurius, one beside the other, are forbidden, but 2 are permitted. This is what Ishmael's talking about. This is what Ishmael's talking about. This is what Ishmael's talking about, man. Put it together. That's why this is coming up. Is Islam, Ishmael, right? Is Islam the ancient idolatry of Mercurius? Hey, we just surfing the wave, man. This ain't even a part of our drop. I'm just reading the Sefer HaMitzvot, and you surfing away with me. So download this Sanhedrin situation. Might be something. You know, it might be nothing. Might be something. So Ishmael's talking about the 3 stones and that 2 are permitted. Okay? I mean, yeah, I guess it gets deeper. So you got Simeon, son of Judah, the patriarch, but he succeeded in having it dismantled by the local authorities. And this is how they're kicking down this Hebrew history. This is where they're hiding your history, and you got to put it together. You're just talking Thoth, you're talking Egypt, you're talking Atlantis, man. You're talking Islam, man. Huh? Is Islam the ancient idolatry of Mercules? Islam, brother. Huh? Don't Mercury me. I'm hijack free. Hey, that's a good shirt, man. Don't Mercury me. I'm hijack free. I hope I remember that. But I think that's our next shirt. Don't Mercury me. I'm hijack free. Lego. Matter of fact, I will forget. Don't Mercury me. I'm hijack free. Hashtag Drop Nation. Yep. All right, man. Pre-orders, man. Hit me up, man. Hit up my PayPal, man. Let's rock. So now let's read it. Now that we got some backstory, and we did all that to again reestablish our foundation for part 1, as well as right now. So, you know, on the future parts, I'm just gonna come in and just read the positive and the negative commandment. You know what I mean, and put it all together with the prohibitions and just rock. Right now, I just want to establish more of a, you know, spectrum of the wave that we're surfing in the Sefer HaMitzvot, so we can do it, you know, as hijack free as we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. The 6th prohibition is that we are forbidden from serving an idol even in a manner other than one of the 4 types of service that we have mentioned. This is upon condition that it is served kadarka in the way this idol is customarily served, such as excreting to the idol pure or throwing a stone at Mercules. All right. The source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, exalted be he, do not bow down to them or serve them. In the words of Mechilta, the 2 phrases, do not bow down to them or serve them, constitute 2 separate prohibitions. To serve is one and to bow down is another. Therefore, one who throws a stone at pure or excreted to Mercules does not transgress this prohibition, since it is not the customary manner of service, and Hawa Almighty, exalted be he, stated, be careful lest you try to find out about their gods, saying, now how do these nations worship their gods? I would also like to try such practices. One who transgresses this prohibition intentionally is punished by death, by stoning, or Karez, which means separation. Karez means that you're separated, banished from the tribe, you know what I mean? So it's like being dead to the tribe without being dead, you know what I mean? And if unintentionally, he must bring a sacrifice. The details of this mitzvah have also been explained in the 7th chapter of the Sanhedrin. So now we got a copy of the Sanhedrin. You know, at least this particular breakdown of it. You know what I mean? And, you know, dig on it, man. Dig on what they're putting together. And we'll go deeper into the Sanhedrin another time and explain kind of, you know what I mean, what the foundation is of that. You know what I mean? It's just, we're not leaning on any one particular translation anywhere because it's all hijacked. All our shit has been hijacked. We know that. But we can magnetize to, you know, connect to that energy that they've used, you know what I'm saying, that has a foundational truth to it. You know what I'm saying? It has a foundational reality. That reality is you, so you can feel you. And that's what we do when we surf the Torah in any translation, in any Tanakh, you know what I mean? And that's what we do when we surf the Sefer HaMitzvot. And that's what we'll do when we surf the wave with the Sanhedrin or the Dead Sea Scrolls or Jubilees, you know what I mean? Or the Book of Enoch, anything we dig on. We're going to always just feel that vibration that hasn't let us down, man. We've been You know what I'm saying? Shot out as a straight arrow on a straight path. We haven't had to switch up at any time because we were shot out by a strong archer, which is Hawa. Hawa shot out this wave, man, and we've been riding it. Shout out to the balcony surfers. Allah Hawa. We have a strong archer. So they are connected this to the Sanhedrin. There it is asked why the punishment of Khares or separation is mentioned 3 times in reference to idolatry, and the answer is given. One is for serving Kadarka, the customary manner or the normal way. One is for serving the low Kadarka in the uncustomary way. Remember that drop that connected the marital situation. Was it this one? So you got Kadarka and you got low Kadarka. That's what they're talking about. And that's the unnatural and the natural. So the Kadarka, natural, low Kadarka, unnatural. All right, I think we're getting it now. I think we see it clearly. And guess what? We didn't have to go to no Hebrew school, man. You know what I mean? We're just surfing the wave, man. It's amazing what energy, frequency, and vibration can do for the tribe. Allah, Hawa. Oh, yeah, it gets better, man. Oh, we calling out names. We calling out names. There it is. It asks why the punishment of Khares is mentioned 3 times in reference to idolatry. The answer is given. One for serving Kadarka, the customary manner. One for serving low Kadarka in the uncustomary way. And one for serving the idol Moloch. Here we go. We calling out names. This means to say that anyone who serves any idol in any manner is punished by Khares if it is served Kadarka. So you get separated if you are serving this idol in the natural way, i.e. the customary, right? The customary manner, such as excreting to Peor, throwing stones at Mercury, Thoth, or cutting one's hair to Kamash. All right, so this connects with that Shumash, huh? Love to naturally dug on the Moabite god. Let's go. Similarly, anyone who serves any idol in any one of the 4 types of service mentioned in N5 or the negative commandment 5. Again, negative commandments don't mean negative. They just mean these are the prohibitions. Do not do this. Thou shalt not kill would be a negative commandment. Thou shall, you know what I'm saying, honor your father, your mother. I'm a Abba above, you dig? That's a positive. That's what you shall do, then what you shall not do. This brings clarity to the even just the 2-dimensional version of the 10 Commandments in the KJV. Now we can see how they're broken down into so-called positive and negative commandments. You see how that brings clarity. We're bringing the scripture to life, if anything, especially when we connect the timelines, man. And you put it together, what's happening in 770 with David is happening at the same time with Moses, probably at around 1170. Because they say he was 33. They say he was 33 when he wrote the Sefer HaMitzvot. He was born in 1135. So now that puts us at around 1168. That puts us right there at 1170, which gives us a 400-year shift in our chronological shift, my Nagas. This is the same event. This is the same person writing the same book. They dropped him off in 770, and then they dropped him off in 1135. You know what I mean? Same thing. And now we got a 400-year shift between a Moses and a David, which furthers our investigation as to, are these the same people? We're just getting clarity with the Babylonian exile, with the exilarchs. My mind. Just getting clearly with the Babylonian exilarchs, man. It's all happening. We're talking about the leaders of Babylon, the Babylonian Jewry. Leaders of the Jewry. Leaders of the Jewry in Babylon. We're talking about the office of exilarch. Head leaders of the Jewry and the Babylonian exile. We're talking about the leaders. We're talking about the head, the exilarchs. Dawid. Who is Prester John? Who wrote the code? 248 positive commandments, 365 negative commandments, 613. 6 plus 1 plus 3 is 10 commandments. Did Moses come down with 10 or 613? And were they broken down specifically like this? Not just said, okay, we'll add them up throughout the Torah, and then you get your 613. Has anybody really added them all up like that? I mean, I'm sure it'll be a lot, led to debate. Is this one? Is that one? Is that one? Or add that one, add that one. But we can actually see how it's broken down right in our face bone by surfing the wave in the Sefer HaMizwoh, written by David/Moses. So this is very important, and I'm glad I'm taking all this time with this one, man, because this is why we're here, this idol worship. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're in this situation. So I could take all the time I need on this one. I don't want to breeze past this. I'll take a whole hour on this. Allahu Akbar. So if you're serving this idol Kadarka in the normal way, the punishment is karez. All right, separation. Even if the idol is not customarily served in that manner, such as bringing a sacrifice to Peor or bowing down to Merculus. So that's not the customary way of serving Thoth. By throwing stones is the customary way of serving Thoth, man. And we got to dig deeper on that throwing stones, because we must still be throwing stones today. You know what I'm saying? In some, whatever that, whatever translation that is, you know what I'm saying? It's not just about a simple rock, throwing a rock at a idol, you know what I mean? It's how are we throwing stones today is the question. Meditate on that. The third case of carries is one who passes some of his children over the fire to Moloch. So we read about that in the scriptures, passing our children, through the fire. But they're going to explain it. We're going to explain it more. So let's go. Number 7. The 7th prohibition is that we are forbidden from handing over some of our children to the idol Molech. Let's go. Moloch worship. This was well known in the time when the Torah was given. The source of this commandment is Hawah's statement, exalted be he. Do not give some of your children to be passed over a fire to Moloch. The 7th chapter of Sanhedrin explains the way in which this idol was worshipped. They would light a fire and increase it, and he would take some of his children and hand them over to those who took care of serving this idol, and he would pass him over the fire from one side to the other. The prohibition on this act is repeated in the verse, there shall not be found among you anyone who passes his son or daughter in fire. One who transgresses this prohibition intentionally is executed by stoning. If he is not executed by stoning, he is punished by karet, or separation from the tribe. And if he did not do so, if he did so unintentionally, he must bring a sin offering. All right, the details of this mitzvah have been explained in the 7th chapter of Sanhedrin, number 8. The 8th prohibition is that we are forbidden from performing the practice of Av, O-V. What's that, drop? What's that? This consists of burning a specific type of incense. The burning of incense, strange fires, performing certain actions. The person who does this then imagines that now this is funny, but this shit is real. All right, this is crazy but true. The person who does this then imagine that he hears a voice speaking from under his armpit. Man, shout out to you know what I'm saying, Aqua Renana, because she dropped the drop in the drop chatter, man. You know what I mean, during our drop trivia, you know, every Shabbat show we got our drop trivia. Shout out to the bro AJ. He won 3 drop shirts. Renata got another drop shirt. You know what I'm saying? Love to the bro Robert Shalazar. He got a drop shirt. So I'm picking up all these shirts, man, tomorrow, man. So I'll be able to get all the shirts out. Hit me up in my email, music@432thedrop.com. You know, if you want a shirt, you know what I mean? I just want to make sure, you know what I mean? I don't leave nobody out, man, so we can get all the shirts and the hoodies and the hats. And we get them, man, because I want y'all to rock the drop, man. I want y'all to feel good, man. You know, walking around like who was Presti John, you know what I mean, on your back. You know, walking around is with that Dodger on hijacks. Love the aqua tie on your back. You know what I mean? If they can't tell us who we are, how can they tell us who we're not on your back? Let them read it, man. Let them vibe up to it. So we like to give them out, you know what I'm saying, and just have the fan pass them out, man, and just have everybody rocking that frequency, you know, because these vibration slogans on the back, you know, this is what Hawaii's giving us throughout the wave. You're like, oh, okay, that's a slogan. Just like this one here, man. Don't Mercury me. I'm hijack free. Hashtag Drop Nation. Let's go. Yeah, the armpit. So the practice of Av, this consists of burning a specific type of incense and performing certain actions. The person who does this then imagines that he hears a voice speaking from under his armpit, answering his questions. This is a form of idolatry. Armpit, man. Armpit voices, man. Can't make this shit up. The source of the commandment of Hawaii's statement, do not turn to the idols called Av. Sound like the Wizard of Oz, man. I'm trying to tell you. In the words of the Sephra, Av refers to Paitam, who speaks from his armpit. One who transgresses this prohibition intentionally is executed by stoning. Paitam, who speaks from his armpit. That's just interesting, you know. Maybe I'll just put it over here for later or something. Paitam idol. Let's see. I don't know. So as we put it in, and the document we're in pops up right away, because it's not going to be a lot on some of this stuff, but it's worth digging. We know we're just talking idols. It brings us right back to the Sephirahim as well, the Sanhedrin. The necromancer is a Paitam from whose armpit. All right, so that's in the Sanhedrin, man. I don't know if we got some drop on that. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it, but you know, you go dig on what a Paitam is, man. It almost sounds like a python, like a snake, you know what I mean? Here we go. Sephar, or the Sephri, keeps referring to the Sephri, right? The list of those liable to be executed by stoning includes those who practice various types of sorcery. So it's like they're using this sorcery, this necromancy, right? It says, the Mishnah describes them, a necromancer is a Paitam from whose armpit the voice of the dead appears to speak. And a sorcerer is one from whose mouth the dead appears to speak. Wow. I thought it was all the same, right? Like necromancy, spells, sorcerer, all the same, right? Nah, it's specific. The necromancer is a Paitam, okay, from whose armpit the voice appears, the voice of the dead appears to speak. And then when you deal with sorcery, it's one who's from whose mouth the dead appear to speak. These, the necromancer and the sorcerer, are executed by stoning, and one who inquires about the future through them is in violation of a prohibition. So you want to go to these sorcerers, whatever they call them, card reading, this, I don't know, you know what I mean? Whatever version of this shit is today. Oh, I know the future. I could read your card. I could read your future, you know what I mean? Necromancy, sorcery, you know what I mean? You just, tapping into shit. And yeah, you might get some link or some electric joke, you know what I mean? But you're not getting that magnetism, you dig? Love to the natural. Because it got to be natural, right? It got to be Kadarka, right? Let's go. All right. So executed by stoning. If he is not executed by stoning, he's punished by karet, separation. And if he did so unintentionally, he must bring a sin offering. This applies to the one who actually performed the action himself, so the necromancer or the sorcerer. Details of this mitzvah have been explained in the 7th chapter of Sanhedrin. Number 9. The 9th prohibition is that we are forbidden from performing the practice of Yadani. It is also a form of idolatry. So you can go through this and you can dig on all these forms of idolatry. And I ask you, did Moses come with just 10 commandments? Or did he come with these specific idols, calling them out by name? Did we learn everything backwards? Was it more complex? And they said, we'll give him 10. And we'll say that it was 613, but we'll make it refer to all these other things. Not breaking it all the way down to Chinatown. The 9th prohibition is that we are forbidden from the practice of Yadani. It is also a form of idolatry in which the person takes a bone from the bird called Yadora, places it in his mouth, burns incense, utters certain words, and performs certain actions until he reaches a state similar to unconsciousness. When he goes into a deep sleep and predicts the future, our sages said Yadani is when a person places a bone from the Eudora in his mouth and it speaks by itself. The prohibition is contained in this verse. Do not turn to the idols called Av or Yadani. Do not think that this prohibition is in the category of the general prohibition. This is because when mentioned the punishment, they were separated, as it is written, any man or woman who is involved in idolatry called Av or Yadani shall be punished by death. One who transgresses either of them intentionally is executed by stoning and karet, as written in Hawa's statement, exalted be he, any man or woman who is involved in the idolatry called Av. As he's saying, as it is written in Hawa's statement. So where are we getting Hawa's statement? It's not in our traditional 10 commandments. Did Hawa give us 613? All breaking down, what they've summarized as these categories. Are the 10 commandments nothing but categories? And then go deeper, into, the inner standing. All right, in the words of Shefri, the verse, any man or woman who is involved in the idolatry called Av or Yadani shall be put to death, designates the punishment, which verse serves as the actual prohibition itself. The verse, do not turn to the idols called Av and Yadoni. One who transgresses this commandment unintentionally must also bring a sin offering. Number 10, and we're going to get our positive commandment. The 10th prohibition is that we are forbidden from investigating idolatry and looking into its content, researching and studying the fantasies and foolishness that its founders claim. For example, the spiritual force can be brought down in this way. Then you must do this. This star you must offer incense to. The star, right? Stand before it in this way. Then do this. and so on. Thinking into these matters and investigating these fantasies can cause a foolish person to pursue them and worship them. So as we surf the wave and you say, okay, I'm gonna, investigate so deep, you know what I mean, that what does it say right here? This spiritual force can be brought down in this way, then you must do this. So you start saying, well, I'm gonna just try it. I'm gonna try it out. They ain't talking about investigating like, Google searching it. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about really like, all right, so they call that Yadani. All right, I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna give me a piece of that bird, whatever Yadani, and I'm just gonna see what it's like. I'm just gonna see what it is. You're forbidden from even tampering with this stuff. From even, going that path, going that direction. You know what I'm saying? Thinking into these matters and investigating these fantasies can cause a foolish person to pursue them and worship them. The verse which contains the prohibition in Hawa's statement, do not turn away to false gods. In the words of the Sifri, if you turn after them, you are making them into gods. There it is written, Rabbi Yehuda. So Judah says, so he talks Simeon, and what does Judah say? Judah says, you must not turn to them even to look at them. This means that it is prohibited even to gaze at the image's external appearance or to think about how it was made in order to not spend even a moment of time on them. So you start, looking up all these pictures of all this stuff and you start meditating on it like, man, how was this even made? And yada, 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 you know what I mean? You want to leave all these images alone, man. You don't even want to meditate on them, man. In the Talmudic chapter, Sheol Adam Me Kavero, it is written, one who walks under an image or statue may not read their caption. On Shabbat, one may not look at the statue itself, even during the week. As the verse says, do not turn away to false gods. What does this verse imply? Yohanan or Jahan, says the same words can be read to men. Do not turn away Hawa from your minds. This prohibition to think about idolatry is repeated in Hawa's statement. Be careful that your heart not be lured away and you turn astray and worship them. This means that if your heart is lured away to think about them, this will cause you to turn away from the straightforward path and become involved in worship. This same concept is repeated. Be careful, be very careful, lest you raise your eyes to the sky and see the sun, moon, and worship them. This does not prohibit one from lifting up one's head and looking at them with one's eye. Rather, it prohibits from pondering in one's mind what powers are attributed to them by those who worship them. The same is found in Hawa's statement. Be careful lest you try to find out about their gods, saying, now how do these nations worship their gods? Let me dabble in Christianity. Let me call on the same God as the Christian. Even if one does not worship them, it is prohibited to inquire about the nature of their worship, since it can cause one to err after them. Now we got hijacks. You should be aware that one who transgresses this prohibition is punished by lashes. It has already been explained at the end of the first chapter of Eruvin that one is punished by lashes for violating the biblical prohibition of going beyond the Shabbat limit. The sages prove this by quoting Hawa's statement, a person may not leave this place. The Talmud then asks how it is possible to punish with lashes when the punishment is stated with the word al, instead of the word lo, do not. It then answers with the rhetorical question, if there are no lashes whenever the word al is used, are there no lashes for the prohibition? Do not turn away to false gods. The discussion implies that one does receive lashes for this prohibition. Hey, lashes, separation, death. You know what I mean? When it comes to keeping the tribe, you know what I mean? Hijack free, you know what I mean? And not being, it's not just like, oh, Hawa wants to punish us. It's like, no, when you do this, you punish yourselves. You bring yourselves into a underworld, under the barrier, under the firmament, and you disconnect yourselves. That's a worse punishment. It's like, let's say your child wants to leave. You got a yeah, I don't know. You got a 12-year-old that wants to leave the house at midnight. Will you let your 12-year-old, daughter or son leave the house at midnight, 12 years old by themselves? Now they could flip it and say, we're trapped. This is what the Christians do and the Christianites, you know what I mean? It's like they say, oh, the law, the New Testament is the spiritual and the Old Testament is the physical. So we need the spirit of this Christ, right? I don't know about y'all, but last time that I checked, when I read Psalms, I feel that ruah. When I read Joshua, when I read Ezekiel, I feel the spirit. I feel the ruah. To say that the Old Testament is just physical is a slap in the face to the priest king and the Khan, to Abraham. It's a slap in the face to Moshe. It's just physical. You must want an excellent new tune. You must want a new tune to your Ruach. Because the Ruach is in the Tanakh, in the Torah. We're digging on the Sefer HaMitzvot to break it all the way down, all the way to Chinatown. I'm just taking these steps with you. We're just taking these steps together. And it hurts us to see our family hijacked. It hurts us deeply to see our family, lacking water. And everyone can see it but them. And you want to bring them to the water, but the water is something you got to walk up to. And we always try to bring the water to our families, but they got to walk to this water like you walk to this water. And eventually, it's get down and lay down. They will have to choose the water or choose the famine. You know what I mean? The sixth mitzvah, we're talking the positive commandments, is that we are commanded to be close to the wise and to associate with them. Now, I know you got scripts all day about, how to treat a wise man and, lurking out outside their door, and make sure you're close to this frequency, to the water. We should constantly be close to them and to be with them in all possible ways of friendship, such as eating, drinking, doing business, in order to thereby succeed in emulating their actions and knowing from their words the true way of looking at things, the dragonfly perspective, that water. The source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, exalted be he, and cling to him. Cling to him, right? Cling to the wise. This commandment is repeated, to him you shall cling, and it is explained in the words of the Sephri, cleave to the sages and their students. Our sages are derived from the verse, to him you shall cling. That one must marry the daughter of a Talmid Kalkam, marry one's daughter to the Talmid Qualcomm gave benefits to Talmudid, Kalakamim, and to do business with them. So that's how the hijacks trying to discuss the situation of clinging to wisdom. When you talk wisdom, you're talking about your Amma. Talk about a divine presence, right? That's Mama. That's wisdom. That's Shekinah, Khan. That's your framer. And she comes in the vibration of your father. She comes in the vibration of your shaper. He who shapes you. He who molds you. He who molds you like clay, right? Now look around you. You might see some street signs. You might see some buildings. You might, see your desk, your bed. You might see your car. Now all that is in a vibration. If you switch to vibration, you'll get a whole nother reality. Just look at the somatics experiments. That's what we digging on with 432 versus 440. Dig on all that. It's all somatics. It's all vibration. Everything's in a vibration. This is your shaper. That's your Abba, framer and shaper. That's when you get back into Papuva. And that's when that friar Domenico de Vicio wrote, when he came to these indigenous people here in America, the most commonly mentioned deity was their framer and their shaper, their Ama Abba. She who, puts the ingredients together. With these ingredients forms a beautiful meal, right? That's wisdom. She gives you the wisdom to what? Do business, right? Wisdom fortifies a king. Solomon prayed for wisdom, Amma, for the divine presence to do business or to run his kingdom, to handle his business, Khan. So your mama puts them ingredients together. That's what we're doing when we surf the wave. We're putting the ingredients together. We're suffering. We're in the flow. But we're in the vibration because the vibration is the law, Khan. Amen. Ahab to the Haka. The vibration is the law. The ancient love song is the vibration. Is the law. Is the shaper. That's the unity. That's the meditating on the unity of the Creator. And that's what we got in the first 5 positive commandments, and how to serve the Creator by meditating on the unity of your frame and your shape of your Creator. Halawah. Our sages say it is possible for a person to cling to the divine presence, wisdom, when the verse says, Hawa, your power is like a consuming fire. Rather, whoever marries a daughter of what they're calling this Talmud Kakam is considered to have cleaved to the divine presence, or, someone who is wise. Marries the daughter of a wise person, whatever they call it. Saying cling their household. They want to cling to this wisdom, to this priest king, to this Khan, to this frequency. It's very interesting, man. Let's get the next one. Positive commandment, number 7. And as we put it all together, man, as we keep the water flowing for the tribe, man, as we, see, as we break all this down, to see what's really on the other side of the veil. That's all we're talking about, is really what's on the other side of what they covered up. That's what we're saying with the veil. It's like so much has been completely veiled and blocked out of our psyche that when we talk about it, we immediately attribute it to somebody else and saying, oh, that's the Jewish thing. That's the white thing. That's a Islam thing, or that's a this thing. In reality, man, so much of the water has been split apart from your attributes. Muhammad took a lot from the Hebrews, from watching them, and digging on that. And we know that there's a Muhammad Vatican connection. So we know they took a lot from these Hebrews, And this has been the original American story. When you come back to Kaleilush, you get your original Hebrew American story. You're not talking religion. You're talking your culture right here in America. You're talking your rights. What are your rights, man? What are your privileges and what are your rights? You have an inheritance. You have the right to have land. You have the right to be one with your tribe and your creator. You have the right to all the beautiful plenty that the creator has given you when you are in order. And that's all we're talking about with this Torah, this Sefer HaMitzvot, written by David/Moses. What's the order? The seventh mitzvah is that we are commanded to swear in Hawah's name whenever necessary, whether to ensure something be done or to prevent ourselves from doing something. So let's clarify that, because of course we read in the commandments, don't swear falsely. Don't take Hawah's name in vain is what it would say, but in other translations it says don't swear falsely. So what's the difference between swearing and swearing falsely according to this translation? Let's go. So the seventh mitzvah or law is that we are commanded to swear in Hawah's name whenever necessary. So it's all good to swear in the Creator's name. Now what does it mean? Let's go. Whether to ensure something be done or to prevent ourselves from doing something. We are required to swear in his name because it exalts, glorifies, and magnifies the Creator. The source of this commandment is Hawah's statement, and swear in his name. Our sages said explicitly, the Torah tells us, swear in his name and do not swear. This means that just as one may make an unnecessary oath, which is prohibited, one is commanded to make a necessary oath, which is a positive commandment. So you don't want to swear falsely by the name of the Creator. You don't want to say, Hawah said we must cross this river when Hawah did not give you that. Hawah said you must go through that hijack to get to the Creator. It all makes sense, right? Nah, man. Nope. Hawah didn't say that. Do not swear falsely by the name of Hawah. Or you could say, Hawah did say, to not put no power before our power. Now we're exalting the oath. We're glorifying, we're magnetically magnifying our power. So it's all good to swear or to make a positive oath of what you know to be true with the Creator, But to swear falsely when the Creator has no connection to what you are saying, that's the prohibition. This means that just as one may not make an unnecessary oath, swearing falsely, which is a prohibition, one is commanded to make a necessary oath, which is a positive commandment. Therefore, one may not swear in the name of any other creation, such as angels or stars. So you don't swear in the name of Mercury. You don't swear, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bar Hashem. Praise our Creator. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Do not swear falsely. Do not swear in the name of any other creation. What are you calling out? Why are we calling out Yahweh Shai when we pray? In Jesus' name I pray. Do not swear in any name. Do not swear in the name of any other creation. You're not calling on David's name. You're not calling on the angel's name. You're not calling on Preston John's name. Only Hawah. Why is it so difficult for our brothers, our Hebrew brothers and sisters to overstand? This is tribe talk. We having a tribal moment. Drive Nation, what it do? Cut out the malarkey, the nonsense, the unnecessary oaths. Therefore, one may not swear in the name, any name, man. Any other name of any other creation, including Jesus, including Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Islam, Muhammad, whatever. Do not swear in the name of any other creation, such as angels and stars. An exception is where the subject, i.e. Hawa, is obviously omitted, such as one who swears in the truth of the Son, but means the true God or power, i.e. who created the Son. So you're not saying in the name of this Son, but in the name of the Creator who created the Son. It is in this manner that our nation swears in the name of Moshe in order to gain honor through mentioning his name. It is as if the person uttered the oath in the God of Moshe or in the one who sent Moshe. However, when a person uttering the oath does not have this in mind and swears in the name of a created being, having in mind that this object is so true that he can swear on it, he has transgressed. Oh man, they think Yahweh Shai is so true. You must know him to get to the Creator. You must go through him to get to the Creator, right? Hijack City. That they swear in his name that you must go through. He's the way. I'm the way to get to the Father. You see how they hijack us, man? You see how they use this and then create a system and through councils create a super naga that now comes and says he's the way to get to the Father. He's the Son. Now you got a loophole and say, oh, well, you know what I mean when I say Yahweh Shai is the one who created Yahweh Shai that he is one with. Where they getting that from? Because they was already rocking with Moshe the same way. But we don't rock with Moshe that way no more because we won't even think about swearing in the name of Moses. That would feel wrong to us. But in the name of Yahweh Shai, Jesus, whatever, that feels fine. You know, Christ's name I pray. All praise the Creator in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? We don't even think about Moshe like that. And yet, when they were rocking with Moshe and they were mentioning his name, you know, as the true Hawa who created Moshe, that's how serious they were rocking with Moshe. How did that flip into this Jesus Yahweh Shai situation? Because we got brought a brand new tune, right? But when we talk Moshe, we talk Moses, we got to keep coming back to the timelines. When we talk Moshe, are we just talking Dawu? Dawi. Anan, Ania. So when you rock with the Creator Hijack Free, you're always, you know, rocking with the energy behind David, right? The energy behind Moses. You want to get the wisdom, you want to get the pure water, but it doesn't mean that you're worshiping Moses or David or Joshua. You just get the drop, get the water, you know what I mean, that the messenger is bringing you. And Palau, man, we pray that it's pure water. All praise Hawa. Let's get the rest of it. I think this is okay, this is the 10th one. So we did 5 and 5 last time. We did 5 and 5, so we're stopping, I guess, after this right here, man. So let's get this. Let's get it good. Let's get it good. Oh, did we get the rest of the last one? Let me make sure I got the rest of it. I'm tripping. I'm in the negative commandment. I switched over somewhere. Let's get it from right here. There we go. Now we back. I know I ain't skipping nothing. It is the manner that our nation swears in the name of Moshe in order to gain honor through mentioning his name. So we talking honor or we talking worship? Two different frequencies. It's as if the person uttered the oath in the power of Moshe or in the one who sent Moshe. However, when the person uttering the oath does not have this in mind, they just talking Jesus and swears in the name of a created being, having in mind that this oath is so true that he can swear on it. Oh, the story of Jesus is so true that I can mention him next to Hawa. He has transgressed and has placed an object on the same level as Hawa. The same level. Jesus is God. That's what the Christians say. Oh, Yahweh Shai, this Christ, he is the creator, he's the original image reflection in Genesis 1:26. He's on the same level. It's all the same thing. The Father is the Son. I'm just saying, family, all praise to Yahweh. It's time to put all these idols away. Place an object on the same level as Hawa. The oral tradition explains that one who places an object on the same level as Hawa is uprooted from the world. I'm trying to prevent our brothers and sisters from being uprooted from the world, because you are the tree. You are the cedar. You are the cypress. We don't want you to be uprooted. This is the intention of the verse, swear in his name. Keep in mind that he alone is the true existence. Alone. No, let me put Yahweh Shai right next to him, because Yahweh Shai is God, right? God is Christ, and this. Allah is that. Whatever you win, keep in mind that the Creator alone is the true existence. Alone. You don't need to put nothing next to him and put nothing next to every prayer. He is the true existence. I exist. Hawa. That is proper to swear by. In the first chapter of Tomorrow, our sages say, what is the source that one may take an oath to fulfill a law, a mitzvah? The verse, and swear in his name. Number 8. The eighth law, the eighth mitzvah, is that we are commanded to emulate Hawa, blessed be he, to the best of our ability. This is all within the 10 commandments, people. You know what I mean? We're just breaking down the 10 commandments, or 613. We're commanded to emulate Hawa, blessed be he, to the best of our ability. The source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, exalted be he, and you shall walk in his paths. The commandment is repeated in this verse, to walk in all his ways. This is explained in the words of the Sephri. Just as Hawa is called merciful, so too you must be merciful. Just as Hawa is called kind, so too you must be kind. Just as Hawa is called righteous, so too you must be righteous. Just as Hawa is called pious, so too you must be pious. This commandment is also repeated in the verse, walk after your power, your creator. This too is explained as emulating the good deeds and the fine attributes which are used to allegorically describe Hawa, blessed be he, who is immeasurably exalted over everything. Nothing is beside the creator. No Christ, no Muhammad, no Hijack, no Thoth, no Hermes, no St. Christopher, man. No dog heads, no Cephalis. Number 9, positive commandment. The 9th mitzvah is that we are commanded to sanctify Hawa's name. The biblical source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, sanctify me amidst my people, my Hebrew people. The mitzvah requires us to publicize the true religion to the masses. This must be done without fear of retribution. to the extent that even if a powerful tyrant tries to force us to deny Hawa, we may not obey him. That reminds me of that Scottish Arbor Oath, right? We must rather unquestionably submit to death, not even allowing him to think that we have denied Hawa. That Scottish oath, that arboreal oath, man. As long as we got 100 left, we will not submit to English rule, right? Because we don't want to give up our power, our source. Allowing him to think that we have denied Hawa, exalted be he, by outwardly denying him, even if we still maintain belief in him in our hearts. This is the mitzvah of sanctifying Hawa's name, in which all Jews are obligated. This means that allow ourselves to be killed by a tyrant for love of Hawa, exalted be he, and believe in his oneness. This is similar to the actions of Kanaya, Mishael, and Azariah in the days of the wicked Nebuchadnezzar. You know, Mishael and Abednego, who forced people to bow down to a statue. Nebuchadnezzar, we're talking Genghis Khan, we're talking Shalmaneser, and everyone, including Jews, bowed down, that there was nobody there to sanctify Hawa's name. And this was a tremendous shame to the Hebrew people. Everyone did not fulfill this mitzvah, and there was nobody to fulfill it. Everyone was afraid. The commandment is obligatory only in such an awesome setting when all inhabitants of the world are terrified, and it is then necessary to spread and announce his unity. But Hawa had already promised through his prophet Isaiah that the Hebrew people would not be completely disgraced on that difficult occasion, and that a few young men would be present who would not be afraid of death and would give up their lives and publicize faith in Hawa, sanctifying Hawa's name in public as we have been commanded through Moshe. This promise is in the verse, now Jacob will not be afraid, nor will his face turn white, for he will see in the midst of the children the work of my hands. They will sanctify my name, the Holy One of Jacob, and strengthen the house of Israel. Hawa of Israel. We see that this action is obligatory and therefore counts as a mitzvah form from the Sifra. Upon this condition, I took them out of Egypt, on condition that they publicly sanctify my name. So you got to represent, man. In the end of the tractate Sanhedrin, they ask, is it a non-Jew commanded to sanctify Hawa's name or not? Here is a statement which proves that the 7 commandments of the non-Jews or Gentiles, if you include this one to sanctify Hawa's name, is very important, because they say, oh, okay, well, if we're not in your tribe, rocking with your power, do we have to listen? Now it said, these 7 commandments of the non-Jews, if you include this one, there will be 8. From this, we see that for Jews, sanctification of Hawa's names counts as a mitzvah. They bring proof that it is counted among the mitzvahs from the verse, sanctify me among the Jewish people. The details of the commandment have been explained in the 7th chapter of the tractate Sanhedrin. We just say, man, choose up, period. No matter trying to prove no DNA test, just choose up. You'll be all right. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's finish strong right here in the 10th positive commandment. We did 5 negative, 5 positive. Next time we'll start with positive, negative. You know what I mean? We're surfing the wave in the Sefer HaMitzvot, written by Anan ben David in 770, or Moses Maimonides, Moses ben Maimon, or Moses ben Amram. Let's go. The Shema, number 10, the positive commandment, number 10, mitzvah, is that we are commanded to recite the Shema daily, both in the evening and the morning. The source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, exalted be he, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk on the road, and when you lie down, and when you rise. The details of this mitzvah have been explained in the tractate Barakos. There it is explained that reciting Shema is a biblical requirement. The Tosefta explains regarding the mitzvah of prayer. Just as the Torah established the time for reciting Shema, so our sages established a time for prayer. The meaning of the statement as it is followed. Although prayer itself is ordained by the Torah, as explained above, the set times for prayers are not. The sages established the times for prayer. This is also the meaning of the statement. The prayers were established to correspond to the Tamid sacrifices. This means that the sages established the times of prayer to correspond to the times of the sacrifices. Women are not obligated in this mitzvah. Now, I don't know. I mean, again, we got to dodge all hijacks, you know what I'm saying? Dodge all translations, you know what I mean? And when it goes back to reciting the Shema, we say, well, what are you saying, man? What do you mean, man? What is the Shema prayer? Yeah, there we go. What's the Shema prayer, man? Shema Israel. Hear, O Israel. All right, a Hebrew prayer, a Jewish prayer, okay, is also the first two words of the section of the Torah. All right, the first two words of the section of the Torah, and it is the title, better known as the Shema, of a prayer that serves as a counterpiece of the morning and evening Jewish prayer services. The first verse encapsulates the monotheistic essence of Judaism. Hear, O Israel, Hawah, our power. Hawah is one. Found in Deuteronomy 6:4, observant Jews consider the Shema to be the most important part of the prayer service in Judaism, and is twice daily recited in the mitzvah, religious commandment. All right, so where are they getting this from? You know, are they making it up, or are they getting it from some Ardra, you know what I mean, that we just don't know no more? You know what I'm saying? Is this rooted within our culture, or are they just making this stuff up? You know what I'm saying? It always seems to be some tinge of a root somewhere, you know what I mean? And it's interesting. It's, you know, it's more to dig on. Since the verse is sometimes alternatively translated, Hawah is our power, Hawah is one. All right, Hawah is our power. Hawah alone. Hawah alone. Back to alone. All right. Don't put no power besides your power, especially before your power. Besides your power, none of that. There is no other power other than your source, your energy, your frequency, your vibration. And that's an interesting little Shema right there. The Lord is our God. Nah, man. Hawah is our power. Hawah is one. Hawah is our power. Hawah alone. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope right there, man. That's a beautiful place to make a dismount in positive commandment number 10, the Shema. Hawah is our power. Hawah alone. Hawah is our power. Hawah is one. And we'll pick it up in the, Sefer HaMitzvot, digging on the writings of Moses ben Maimon, or Rambam, 12th century, 8th century, Dawi. And again, there's so many more books to dig on. And, Daniel 12, the books will be unsealed. And, through all this, obviously we will find the hijack at the same time. We can always get the dropout and, better ourselves, at the same time. The book of knowledge can have plenty of drop in it that we can use to better ourselves and be hijack free and dodge the hijack at all costs. You know what I mean? The book of love covering prayers and blessings. All right. The book of seasons devoted to the Shabbat. The book of women dealing with family law, marriage, and divorce. All right. Book of holiness, including sexual prohibitions, which you shouldn't do, who you shouldn't be, messing with. You know what I mean? And the dietary law. Don't we need that? Don't we need it? So It's a lot more drop to come. Digging in the Sefer HaMitzvot. And Ahab again to the bro Karen Mayo for bringing this to our attention. Support the bro Marcus Sam, man. We truly love you, truly Ahab, you bro. Keep on rising, keep on vibing at all times, man, at all costs. Don't Mercury me. I'm hijack free. Hashtag Drop Nation, man. Make sure you got your Sanhedrin drop, download that drop. Remember that key question we were asking earlier, man. Is Islam the ancient idolatry of Mercury? We're going to be back in that OISP. Could be next, could come right after that. But remember one thing, man. Hawa is our power. Hawa is one. Hawa is our power. Hawa alone. Alive. Hawa.